I just got my 150th platinum trophy after 9+ years of trophy hunting, and I thought it would be fun to take a look at all of the games I've platinumed in the past, which ones I really enjoyed and which ones not so much, including my future plans for games to platinum or get the 100% for. And if you know anything about me, you may already know what my milestone trophies usually are. My first actual platinum was Rocket League, all the way back in 2016, and I only needed a few more trophies to actually get this platinum, but I came across this because two of my classmates were actually trophy hunters, and after chatting along they convinced me to actually go for the platinum, and I was like, why not? So I did it, and ever since I've been completely hooked. My second ever platinum was Battlefield 4, probably my all-time favorite multiplayer game. I put over 3,000 hours in this game. Because I suddenly got into trophy hunting, I decided to go for the platinum. You have to finish the story maybe 3 times, I think, but it's such a good game. I absolutely love this game. And if I would go over every single game individually, we'd probably be here for over an hour, so I'm just going to talk briefly about a few games in between. Tabletop Racing is a great game. I really liked it. I think it was free on PlayStation Plus at some point. Really enjoyed that. Has a few multiplayer trophies, but it's not too difficult. Assassin's Creed Syndicate was actually my first ever Assassin's Creed game. Really enjoyed that London setting. There's one trophy though where you need to destroy I think 5,000 objects, and that was a little bit of a grind, but it's a great game. Battlefield Hardline I absolutely loved. Went for this as well. Pretty difficult trophy list actually, but it's really good. I did the infamous First Light DLC before I actually played Second Son, and then we have the Uncharted collection. This is actually a really fun trilogy, and I completed the first game in like 2 days or something over the weekend, but it's so much fun. And I have a few other Uncharted games up here, which you'll see in a bit. But next up we have Battlefield 1, and as I said, I'm an absolute diehard Battlefield fan, but this game just wasn't it for me, unfortunately. Because I played Battlefield 4 competitively, I went for Battlefield 1 competitively as well, but it just didn't hit the same. It's visually stunning and it's super immersive, but the gameplay, unfortunately for me, wasn't it. And then skipping over a few games which I never got a platinum for, I'd love to, but they just seem too difficult, or I haven't gone back for them. We have Need for Speed, the first racing game I played, got it back in 2017, and it's just, I actually really enjoyed this Need for Speed. The Walking Dead, I got season 2 before this, which was interesting because I didn't understand anything in season 2, so I went back for The Walking Dead season 1, which actually does have a platinum, and I mean, it's a Telltale game, so it's super simple. You just finish it, but it's heartbreaking, man. It's heartbreaking. Next up we have Horizon Zero Dawn, which I also thought was a really good game. Really enjoyed that. Such fun gameplay, and actually I really like the story more than the gameplay. Actually, I got the second one as well, which you'll see later. Goat Simulator. I mean, what do I say about this? It's Goat Simulator. Another Telltale game. Tales from the Borderlands. It's just simple. Killing Floor 2. I would have loved to have gone for, but it's a little bit too difficult. It's multiplayer, and we all know what multiplayer means, so haven't done that. We've got The Witcher 3, which I thought I was absolutely gonna love, and I didn't. I didn't like the setting, wasn't a big fan, and so never really went back for it. I want to try another CD Projekt Red game in the future, but haven't done that. This game we don't even talk about, don't even know. Just Cause was there. Then we have another one, and this one's actually really interesting because this was the Telltale game again, so it's super simple, but it took me a while because I was so drained out on trophy hunting at this point that I really had to force myself into getting this platinum. I didn't really enjoy the story, so I wasn't encouraged enough to go for it. But after this, I stopped trophy hunting for a few years. And what happened was that I went back to Battlefield. I started playing Battlefield again, playing that competitively, and at some point Apex came out, started playing that religiously, which I still do to this day. But I got out of trophy hunting until I think maybe 2 years before we jump into the next game, which is actually Marvel Spider-Man. And as you can see, this is 2020. It's been over 3 years since I got my last platinum trophy at this point, but luckily I bought this game and wanted to finish it, and for some reason at that point I was triggered. I was like, hey, I only need a few more trophies for the platinum, so I had to grind out all these crime waves before they spawned. And when I finally got this, I was like, yo, what have I been doing? Why didn't I go back trophy hunting? So I immediately looked at my backlog and went for a few other trophies. I went for The Crew 2. The next day, I did, well, we don't speak about that. I went for Uncharted 4.
which was also had to do this one. See, 4-year difference between the first and last trophy. I mean, it's a great game. And then we have Infamous Second Son, which was the base game, and I already played the DLC for that. Really fun. Got my first Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, simple, just finished the campaign. There's one trophy here though, I think it's this game, right? Where you have to do the Mile High Club. Yep, this trophy. If you're trying to platinum this game, don't give up, but it's so annoying. Game of Thrones, I'm a massive Game of Thrones fan, so I thought this was going to be amazing, but as you can see, I tried to platinum this game back in 2017, but had to go back and clean up because I got kind of bored of trophy hunting. But I didn't really enjoy the story, unfortunately. It's a little different, cool, but not enough. The Deadly Tower of Monsters, don't even know what this game is, but super simple platinum. I really want to get the Detroit platinum at some point, but you have to play through it like 3 times in doing all these choices, and that's kind of tedious. So I promise I'm gonna go for this trophy again, but it's gonna have to wait. Battlefield 5 is next. Yeah, you know my point on Battlefield by now. There is one trophy if you're going for it that's gonna be really annoying, and that is this trophy. And if you're going for it, just do this with a boosted partner. It's going to be so much easier. It's really difficult to do this in game. A free Lego game, had to go for that. Absolutely loved this Lego stuff. Really close to the 6 Siege Platinum. I also have the PS5 version, you'll see that in a bit. I just have to sit and go for this, but I bought this game right before Apex came out and never really returned to it. Minecraft, well, I mean, everyone's played Minecraft. I played this religiously on PC when I was younger, so when I got the PS4 version, I just went straight for the Platinum. And the tedious trophy here is 100 days, and I just went AFK for that. I have to admit, just went AFK to get that trophy. Another Call of Duty game, nothing too interesting. And then The Last of Us Remastered and Part 2. This game is so good. I don't have words for it. It's just so good. It's just so good. Then Part 2 doesn't disappoint. It just continues the insane story. Especially if you've seen HBO's adaptation, then it's fantastic. I'm going for the grounded mode in permadeath actually. Hope to get that done. South Park is just more South Park, nothing really too interesting. Another Assassin's Creed game, which is really tedious because of all the collectibles and places you have to visit, but whatever. Control is a really interesting game because it's weirdly interesting. Fall Guys, I am not even going to attempt this platinum. Respect to anyone who has. Absolutely, congratulations, saluting you. But 5 wins in a row, absolutely not even going to attempt it. BioShock games, those are great. Then we have Sleeping Dogs, which is severely underrated in my opinion. I really like this game, especially the pork bun, whole man, whatever the quote is. Fantastic, loved it. God of War, I am going to admit, I didn't love this game like some people, and I never played the original trilogy. So I'm waiting to get Ragnarok, but I will platinum that game, obviously. But I'm not the biggest God of War fan. Then we have my last ever platinum on PS4, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Shows that we can have games without Nathan Drake. Going for the Uncharted Lost Legacy actually soon, so that'll be fun. And then PS5 came out. Holy, this game, I do not even have words for it. It is so fucking good. If you're a PlayStation fan, you'll love this. And if you're a trophy hunter, it's super simple. It's got a fun platinum. I don't have words for it. I had to get the DLC, obviously. Bugsnax was free with it at the time. Then we have Days Gone and Ratchet & Clank from the PS Plus collection. Great games. Was actually my first Ratchet & Clank, and Days Gone was really fun, especially with all the hordes you have to play. It was fun. If you're playing Ratchet & Clank though, make sure you make everyone dance, all the enemies, I think, because if you don't, you're gonna have to go for another playthrough, so keep that in mind. Maneater, whatever, don't really care about that game. Titanfall 2 restored my love for Apex. That's all I can say. The movement, gunplay, story, everything aligns perfectly in this game. Some people have a lot of difficulty with this trophy, but if you use a SCUF controller or anything else with back buttons, like I do, that can really help you out. If you don't have access to one of those controllers, just change your button layout to L2 to jump or L1 to jump, which can really make a difference. Concrete Genie was whatever, don't really care. Wanted to go for the GTA 3 Platinum, but the controls in that are horrendous, so didn't go for that. But then we have Red Dead Redemption 2, arguably my favorite ever platinum. It took a while to get this one, but it's so good. It's the details in this game, the story, the gameplay, it's all just so good. I really don't have words for it. Just make sure you study and scan every animal when you're going for this from the start, because that will save you a lot of time in the end. And then moving on from Red Dead, which took me a while, I wanted to go for a quick platinum, so I went for Maquette at the time, which is a cute love story puzzle game. It's quite fun, but it's nothing too interesting. Life is Strange, I never want to play a Life is Strange game again. It's so ridiculously cringy in my opinion. It's just a teen story. It's super simple, so it's not that, but it's just not fun. Got the PS5 version of Control again. Not an auto pop. Played this again and I really liked it. It runs so much better on that version. It's pretty crazy. Few games that I didn't get a platinum for because they were too difficult or I didn't have a partner. And then this is my 50th platinum. It was kind of like a nudge towards everyone that was getting shovelware platinums. But considering what that is, My Name is Mayo, to what shovelware is right now, this is a fully fledged AAA game compared to those. It's actually not that bad and you might see a pattern if you stay along, but I actually quite enjoyed that game. Immortals Phoenix Rising, and I really like the cartoony aesthetic that this game has, and then along with the super simple gameplay and collectibles, it's actually a really fun experience. Subnautica, not even gonna lie, I went for this in dev mode. I tried to do this the legitimate way, but I just couldn't get into the game. And because I had that one unlocked trophy, I had to get this off my trophy list. So I just did dev mode. I hate to admit it, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Plague Tale Innocence really surprised me. Actually a really good game. Until Dawn, I had to do this again because I wasn't going for the platinum at the time. So this was a one that I had to go back for, and it was actually quite good, but you have to pay attention that you have to finish it like 3 times, I think, maybe 2, could be wrong. And I'm a Star Wars fan, so I had to do Jedi Fallen Order. Great game. Terrible platinum screenshot though. That kind of sucks. Next up, Rage 2, and at the time of playing this, I actually had a broken arm. My thumb was broken and my entire arm was in a cast, which made gaming really difficult, but you know, I'm an addicted trophy hunting nerd, so I had to get this anyway, but ruined my controller in the process of that. But that's for a different story. Undertale, I thought this game had such high praise that I decided to try it out. Also because it had an easy platinum, but I didn't enjoy this game. It's this 8-bit style, but it wasn't for me. Overcooked, this is hilarious if you're playing this with friends. There's one trophy you do need to keep an eye out for, which you need 4 players for, so either make sure you have 3 other friends, or you want to do what I did, which was with one friend, message randoms and hope they join you to do one trophy where you have to pass fish along or something. So that was a little bit annoying, but it was a great experience. It was so funny. Need for Speed Heat, racing game, not much to say about that. Then we have Rocket League, which I got a few DLC trophies for, and then we have the Spyro trilogy. Never played the original trilogy on PlayStation 2, so I had to do this, or on PlayStation 1 actually. So I went for this, and well, I can see why people love Spyro. It's really fun. It's just super simple and outdated gameplay, but because of that, it makes it really charming. Which we had to do a different trophy for this in the meantime, which was Battlefield 2042. This game is ridiculously bad, excuse my language. Yeah, I'm a Battlefield fan, so I was really hyped for this, especially with that trailer and everything, but the game just isn't it. It's definitely not an easy platinum, so if you're going for this, watch out for the Hazard Zone trophies. I don't even know if that's still alive, so get that as soon as possible, especially now that it's on PlayStation Plus at the time. It's going to be much more alive. And the other one you want to watch out for is 2500 kills with weapons and vehicles. You're gonna want to try and farm them as much as possible, but you can also use bot lobbies for that, so check out a guide to see which trophies are available to do in bot lobbies, but that can save you a lot of time. Next up we have Marvel's Spider-Man. Great game, that's all I can say. More Spider-Man, I mean, it's great. Then we have Rainbow Six Siege, which I really need to get this platinum for. I only need like 2 more trophies, which is get 5 flawless victories in ranked and get, I think it was a win with every round with base operators. Yeah, this trophy. I need to go back for it, but I haven't been able to get back into Six Siege. Haven't played it too much, but yeah, need to do that one. Then we have 2 of the greatest games you can possibly play with someone else. Co-op games in this are a lot of fun. and especially It Takes Two, even if your partner that you're playing with isn't a gamer, this is so simple, so fun, so cute, so lovely, so wholesome. You just can't go wrong with this game. It's so good. It's so good. Deservedly Game of the Year. Dirt 5, if you're going for this platinum, search up like some boosted map like this. You can find them in the search, and then use a rubber band to just get the amount of 5,000 miles or something ridiculous that you need. That's the only tip I have for that. Ghost of Tsushima is so good. It is beautiful. Like, it is beautiful. It's probably one of the best platinum experiences you can get, because the collectibles and everything are so well paced, and it just fantastic. Got another Lego DC games, probably the best Lego game. Then we have Ghost Runner, which is, I never see anyone talk about this game, but the movement in this game is so good. It's so addicting. It's definitely difficult to get into, but I like my first-person shooter games. Well, this isn't a shooter, but same idea. It's just so good. It's so addictingly fun. Then we have Apex Legends. Well, that's not a platinum, but I got that obviously because I play a ton of it. We have Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This game was a pain and a half. As you can see, I needed mastery points, and you needed 400 skill points before you unlock the mastery point. But because of all the DLC they released in later years, they bumped that mastery level up a ton, which means I had to do some of the most tedious grinding I've ever done to unlock a few more mastery points. Besides the 800 or so collectibles, that was so incredibly painful. So I had to go for SpongeBob SquarePants, which was a really simple game. Definitely a lot of collectibles as well, I think. But I mean, it's SpongeBob, what else can you say? It's a remake. But this game, however, I'm a Star Wars fan and I like my Lego, so this was perfect. I waited for this game for so long, but it got delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed, and nothing was heard from it until it finally dropped, and I just, wow, no words for it. It's so good. I loved everything. The story, the collectibles, the side missions, everything about this game. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. The Last Campfire is a cute game. And then we have, well, you can probably guess, my 75th platinum, which is My Name is Mayo the Second. Yeah, that's basically it. It's My Name is Mayo. It's the same as the first one. Horizon Forbidden West. Unfortunately, don't have a video for this because my game corrupted, which was fun, but great game. Didn't like it as much as the first game, personally, but it's so good. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Death's Door. I heard this got great reviews, so I had to check it out, and this was more difficult than I expected because I never really play these types of games. But the Umbrella Run, if you're trying to go for that, it's not too difficult eventually. Once you play through it once, it's definitely not too difficult. You can do this in one playthrough, but I don't recommend it. Stray, my goodness. I'm not a cat person, I'm a dog person, but this cat game is wonderful. Just, it's so strangely wholesome, loving, warm. I don't really know what to describe it, but it's just wonderful. I really want to get the physical edition for this, just because I love the art and everything else. It's really fun. Deliver Us the Moon, nothing really special about this game. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not really sure what to show about that game. Another Lego game, same as always, Lego game. Then we had this game. I had this on my wish list for a really long time, so I finally bought it, and well, it didn't disappoint, but I did my collectibles in one playthrough because I couldn't be... The movement was too slow for me to want to do another playthrough, but the story is really, really good. I'm actually excited for the second one, the sequel. This game, I've said this about a few games now, and I apologize, but this game is so ridiculously good. If you haven't played this, what are you doing? Like, check this out. If you like shooting, and you like movement, like I do, and you like exploration, and weirdly sci-fi mystery games, this game is just incredible. Just incredible. Just make sure that you're getting all the ciphers when you're exploring, because that's what cost me probably another 2 or 3 hours before I finally found the one I was looking for, which was annoying. But I also went for the Tower DLC trophies because I really couldn't get enough of this game. I had to get an easy one in the meantime. Toem, yeah, not too interesting, pretty simple photography game. Got the DLC on that. Biomutant, wanted to check this out a really long time. So I did that. It's not an easy game, or it's not a difficult game at all, but it's not a great game. The story doesn't make any sense to me, and the gameplay is pretty standard, but it's fun. It looks cute. I mean, it's not a bad game. It's just not great. Deathloop disappointed me. I was expecting more of this game, but it was free on PlayStation Plus something, so I had to check it out. I expected more of this, but it's pretty easy. It's pretty fun. Kena Bridge of Spirits, cute AF. That's really all I can say. The Platinum Trophy, however, if you want to go for it, I tried it on the Mastery difficulty, but I couldn't. So I did the glitch. Yes, hate me for it. I did the glitch. Yeah, hate to admit it. It's still possible, I think. Next up we have Hot Wheels, which isn't too interesting. It's just a really simple racing game. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, more tedious collectibles. Tedious collectibles, that's all I can say. Then we have What Remains of Edith Finch. I heard this game for such a long time that it got such good reviews. It's one of the best story-written games ever. And it, well, I'm repeating myself so often. It didn't disappoint. It's beautiful, just lovely, lovely. Sackboy, yeah, it's Sackboy, but there's one trophy at the end where you have to complete like this speed run. Just keep going if you're trying to go for this platinum. Just keep trying. You'll get there eventually. It's gonna take more tries than is necessary, but it's not too bad. Bunny Raiders is a free platinum game, so check that out if you want to. You can do this on your own or with friends. It's just simple. It takes like an hour or so. It's just too easy. We have the Pedestrian, which doesn't have a platinum, but I really wanted to check it out. We have a Short Hike, which is a cute indie game, which looks super cute, but it's a short platinum. Not much else to say for it, except for there's a few collectibles. Then we have Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens, which I like my Lego and I like my Star Wars. So I like Lego Star Wars and I like this game. It's more of the same though. Every Lego game's the same. Then we have two easy platinums. Well, I say easy, but they're actually short. This one was easy and short. Maybe a half hour it took me. But then the second one took me much longer because I thought they were super simple and easy, but this one took me like 2 hours or something ridiculous. And it wasn't actually that easy, so don't call this shovelware. It's actually quite difficult. Omno was also free on PlayStation Plus, I think. Really cute. It reminded me of like this Avatar game that someone's building because it just looks and feels that way. But it's super simple, only like 4 hours, I think. So yeah. And then we have one of my most proud platinums, I guess. This game, GTA 5. Doesn't need an introduction. But I wanted this platinum for so long. I was putting it off like, yeah, I'll get to it eventually. But at some point I was just like, yes, now we go for it. And I never really played this game. So I had to do the online trophies as well. And that was the biggest grind or trophy that put me off. Multiplayer was actually quite fun with all the businesses and races and everything. I was really enjoying it. So when I went back to play the story, actually, yeah, it got me so excited for GTA 6. Like, I don't even know what to say. The only thing that I didn't like for this platinum was the 100% where you have to collect all of those stunt jumps, leather scraps, submarine parts. I don't even know what else. But after you finish the story and you're going for that, it is so ridiculously boring. It's just so boring. But I loved it. So proud of it. Super happy with it. Wonderful. Lovely. Sifu was so incredibly difficult, but I liked it. I did play on the easy mode after a while because some of those bosses were really absolutely destroying me. So hate me for that. But or I found my difficulty in gaming with multiplayer trophies because I play a lot of multiplayer FPS games, so I like to do my platinums fairly simple, or at least not destroying my soul. So I had to go for a simple platinum in the meantime, which was another Lego game. I mean, it's Lego. Doesn't need an introduction. It's fairly simple, it's fairly straightforward, and it's cool. It's got a lot of Easter eggs in there. Check it out if you haven't already. Then we have my 100th platinum trophy. Yes, my name is Mayo3. I really hope that I can redeem myself with all the previous 97 platinums that I have. But I just thought this was such a cool nudge towards all the shovelware that was happening at the time. But now shovelware just looks like 10-second platinums. This one actually took over an hour, and it sort of felt like a nudge towards all the platinum hunters that actually get shovelware. So I thought it was kind of funny. But yeah, that's 100 platinum trophies.
Quickly fast forwarding a few months and looking at the next 50 platinums that I got, we can see that I have indeed platinumed Minecraft Dungeons by now, and it's something I really do need to go back and do those DLC trophies for, because that 52% isn't looking too hot, but a very fun and different take on Minecraft that I did enjoy. Next up we have Ghostwire Tokyo, and oh my god, does this game have a lot of collectibles. Like, the insane amount of spirits that you need to find is just absurd. It's like on the Assassin's Creed Valhalla level of amount of collectibles you need to find. The only reason I haven't got these DLC trophies is because it came out on the same day that I got the platinum, which I really wasn't looking forward to doing any more of this game, but I should be going back for them at some point. Next is Chia, a very fun indie game. Not really too much to say about this. It's quite fun jumping into animals, but not too interesting. Untitled Goose Game was, well, Untitled Goose Game. You play as a goose. Not very difficult, just kind of a short puzzle and figuring out how to do things. You can do it very quickly. Fun little game. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, I got this on launch day, which I don't normally do for games anymore, but I was so excited for this, I just had to. And well, I paid for that because the performance on launch was absolutely horrendous. It's been fixed now, I do believe, but playing on like 20 FPS in some of the bigger areas was not very fun. The game overall was really good, really fun game, really good Star Wars story, definitely enjoyed that. Ratchet & Clank, another amazing game for PS5, like the SSD is showed off perfectly in this game, and it's just so much fun to play. It's not something very serious, you can like kind of shut your brain off when playing this, highly recommend. And that was the last game that I got before I attempted the Platinum Alphabet Challenge, where I'll just briefly go over these games, but if you want to see my review and experience of them, you can check out the Alphabet Challenge video somewhere on the screen right now. Zombies ruined my day, don't recommend. Yet another Zombie Defense, don't recommend. They're just both like a 4-hour platinum, but the gameplay is not very good at all. Xing The Land Beyond, I do recommend. It's surprising how good this game was. It's a VR game, but you can play it in 2D as well. Very surprised by how good that game was. Definitely recommend a short puzzle game again. Wreckfest was a fun racing game, which really reminded me of Fallout, which turned out to be the same developers, which was cool. Fun game. Virginia, another game that was pretty emotional at some points with the whole FBI thing and the story, which it's another short game, of course, but pretty good game. Do recommend. Unpacking. Now, some people hated this game apparently, but I loved it. Like, it's definitely the most relaxing game I've played in a long time. Literally just unpack things and sort them in the right place. Like, I loved it. It's just so simple and very fun and relaxing to do. Highly recommend. The Order 1886, a little bit of a strange game, as it's not very popular and it's kind of like a forgotten game, but the story was a little weird, but the trophies were very easy. Star Wars, another really simple racing game. There's not really much to it, just race basically. Road 96 or 69 as I'd like to call it, haha, funny. Just a few missable trophies to watch out for, but the game's really good. Like, it's a very unique game. Like, your experience will also be unique. It's very unique in that game. Yeah, unique game. Queen's Quest 4, don't recommend, don't even start it. Pinball Hero is if you want a 1-hour platinum where you play pinball, very fun, not really interesting. Operation Tango is very interesting. This game's a co-op game actually, and it's very fun. I don't see many people talk about this, or at all really, but it's got some very intense moments, and if you play with someone you enjoy playing with, then this is one hell of a good time. Haven't got the DLC for that. This game I don't recommend. Wow, was this a pain to platinum. This should have taken me about 12 hours. It took me 34 painful hours of replaying the story over and over and over and over and over and over again. There's just no way to know which decision leads to the right ending that you need. It was just ridiculous. It's genuinely one of the worst experiences I've had with a trophy in a long time. My friend Peppa Pig, do I really need to explain myself here? It's literally just Peppa Pig, takes like 40 minutes to platinum. Not very interesting. Life is Strange True Colors. This changed my experience or my view on Life is Strange. I kind of like this one, or I enjoyed this one, I'd like to say. But the first one, not so much. This is definitely a little more or I should say it's a little less teenage cringy. Knight's Retreat if you want some sort of puzzle chest game. Jak and Daxter, I never played Jak and Daxter, so this was also a new experience for me. The only problem I had was like the controls were terrible. I really didn't like that. I'd like to see a new one for that at some point. That would be cool. Ice Age is literally just Ice Age. A little bit of a glitchy game. Nothing very interesting around that. Him and Her, if you're looking for a little bit of a difficult game that's not popular at all, and it's a puzzle game which is very difficult at times, but quite a fun game that I found through this challenge. Goat Simulator is literally just Goat Simulator. I don't think I need to explain how chaotic, goofy, and fun this game is. It's also got very good trophy support, like the collectibles are labeled and everything, and there's guides for everything you want. Great game, highly recommend. F1 Manager is because I was interested in becoming the next Christian Horner without the whole debacle that's going on right now, but a very fun manager game that I did enjoy and kind of got me more interested in F1 because of the whole behind the scenes sort of thing that you get to see here. Endling, another cute indie game that I actually had some trouble with going for the All Cubs Alive trophy, purely because of my own mistakes, I won't deny that, but that was a bit detrimental to my overall experience of the game, which kind of sucked, but oh well, what can you do? Destroy All Humans was very fun, a very fun game to do. Definitely, again, surprised me by how fun it was. It's a remake of the original from like 2004 or some stuff, and yeah, I really enjoyed just literally like the whole setting, the vibe, the gameplay. Yeah, I just recommend it, and you might see that I did get the sequel as well later on. Crazy Chicken, I don't even know what to say. If you want to shoot chickens out of the sky for like 4 hours straight, then be my guest, but not for me. Batman Telltale game, another Telltale game I really enjoyed. I didn't play a Telltale game in some time, and this one was just Batman basically. You know how Telltale goes. Ape Escape, thank you to Bushido Cypher for your gameplay walkthrough trophy thingamajig, because I couldn't have done it without you. This game is very bad to play. I mean, I'm sure it was great for its time, but it does not hold up. And then the final game of this Platinum Challenge was 101 Ways to Die, and I probably didn't spend as much time as I should have with this game because I kind of rushed through it, but it's a quite different game. I don't really know what to compare it to, but it's quite fun. You just bring zombies from A to B. But that was the Alphabet Challenge, and then I decided why not do the most difficult game that I could have done, Cuphead, because I had not played many difficult games in this trophy list, as you could have seen. So I decided to go on doing Cuphead, and that was difficult, but not as difficult as I was expecting. I was expecting this to be brutal, and it was just very difficult, I'd like to say. There's definitely a few bosses which can literally destroy you, but I was surprised by how addicting, fun, and rewarding beating the bosses. Like, there's no way to sort of cheese it. But anyway, this is probably my most difficult trophy, platinum trophy that I got, and I did the DLC as well because it looks nice and I was enjoying myself. You've seen the PS4 version of this game. This is the PS5 version where I also popped most of the trophies, but I finally went back and did the remaining trophies that I had left, which was mostly just a ranked one where I had to get flawless wins, and that was a bit of a grind, as you've seen in maybe one of my other videos, but that was a pain to do. But very happy that I finally got the Rainbow Six Siege Platinum Trophy. Moving along over to Marvel Spider-Man Remastered, you'll have seen the PS4 version of this, but I went back and did the PS5 version, including its DLC and all of that, because this was at the time that I was working at PlayStation, and we were working on the whole Marvel Spider-Man 2 marketing campaign. So just to get back into the thing of Spider-Man, knowing the whole story and everything about it, I thought what better way to prepare myself for that game and just get up to speed with it by playing all of the DLCs and the main game for the New Game Plus. Which was a great experience. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, that's kind of the game revisiting what restarted my trophy hunting. Then I went for a very long platinum trophy in Death Stranding Director's Cut, which took me around 80 hours. And I still don't know my honest opinion on this game. It's very different, very strange, very Hideo Kojima, as you'd like to say. But yeah, it's very boring and very intriguing at the same time. I'm leaning towards going for the platinum in the sequel that's coming out in the next year or so. Then I went back and did Ghost Runner. I got the platinum way before. I got it in 2020, but I went back and did the DLC only recently because I wanted to revisit and get this DLC. I love this game so much, and I was kind of preparing myself for Ghost Runner 2 game, which is very high up on my backlog because this game, its movement, the soundtrack, the gameplay in general is just so good and fast-paced, fun, addicting. It's honestly a great game. Moving over to Killzone Liberation, which is a game I used to play on the PSP a lot, so I revisited this and got some trophies and a platinum trophy in return. Very short game, and it's a PSP port, so it doesn't play great, but it's very fun and simple to do, so really recommend that game. Then we have Rocket League. This is the one you saw at the very beginning, but I went back and did the DLC trophies only recently because I was only missing a few. So the game that kickstarted the trophy hunting for me now has 100%, and that's a good thing because one of the trophies for trading, I think, is now unobtainable, which is absolutely ridiculous, but that's a reason I'm personally very happy I got the 100%. Then, as I mentioned, we were working on Marvel Spider-Man 2. I had to get the game on launch day, obviously. I was at the launch party, which was awesome. The whole campaign leading up to it was such an experience for me. I loved it to bits, which is why I had to get Marvel Spider-Man 2 and its platinum trophy, which only took around 25 hours, I want to say, but it's very cool. It probably didn't live up to my hype, if I'm being all honest, but it's a game that I will be returning to for the New Game Plus trophy because I need that 100% now. Bug Snacks, that's another game. This should have been after Astrobot on the list because it was pretty much the first non-Astrobot PS5 game that I platinumed. As you can see, this is the 1st of December 2020, just after PS5 launched. But it's really high up here because I went for the DLC only recently, which is very quick and easy to do. There's not really much to it. It's just complete like a 5-hour quest line with some collectibles in the Bug Snacks that you need to get. But it's a very weird and strange game. I don't really know what to think about this. Easy platinum. Then we have Immortals Phoenix Rising, another game that I revisited for the 100% because I got this in 2021 already. A very underrated game, and I'm very, very bummed that we don't have the sequel for this coming out because that got cancelled. But I wanted to at least experience something about it, so I went and did the DLCs, which the DLCs are all very different, which is actually a good thing. But this one's just very repetitive in the trials that you need to do. The Myths of the Eastern Realm is quite cool. It's probably the closest we'll get to a sequel, but it's got not really anything interesting going on. And The Lost Gods is a terrible version with different gameplay style, basically, where it's a top-down view. But got the 100% for a very fun game. Then we have The Last of Us Part 2, another game that I got on launch day back in 2020, so it should have been right after I platinumed The Last of Us Remastered, but it's another game that I went back and did the DLC for. So I went and did Grounded mode, which was much less difficult than I think I was expecting because it wasn't as difficult as the original remastered version for Part 1. Yeah, that was quite just a phenomenal game. Very, very good game. Absolutely love it. So after getting Part 1, the remake, I'll probably be going for Part 2, the remastered, because I mean, I love The Last of Us. It's a great IP. Then we have Mirror's Edge Catalyst. This platinum is now unobtainable. If you don't have some of these, I don't know where the trophy is, these ones, if you don't have a user-created time trial or a user-created beat LE, then you won't be getting this platinum trophy, which so sucks, but they took the servers offline, which means that you can't get these multiplayer trophies anymore. So that's just, I had to do this before the servers went offline, and I'm very happy I got it, but it sucks that the trophies are now unobtainable. Rhyme, I honestly don't know what to think about this, or I do, it's not a great game. I didn't care for the story whatsoever. I'm sure people enjoyed this, but it's an incredibly boring story. I just don't care for it. Then we have Battlefield 3, another game that I revisited, but this time for the Platinum Trophy. Thank you to my boy Teabag Gaming for helping me with this. It's a PS3 game. It's the only PS3 game that I've ever platinumed, but I'm really glad that I got this after 12 years because oh my goodness, do I love this game. I put like 300 hours into it back on PS3. Very relieved that I finally got this Platinum Trophy. The only thing I'm not happy about is that I'm missing 4 trophies in the DLC, but that's something I'll need to grab a group for and boost those trophies with some people at some point, but I do need to get those 100%. That would be a great thing to have. Then we have Destroy All Humans 2, which is, well, I don't want to say beyond perfection because it didn't live up to my expectations from the original game. I really like the original game, as I just said, but this one just felt off. It didn't feel the same. I think it's because it was around the world and not just America this time. I don't know if that's the exact thing, but the whole game wasn't as much fun as I was expecting from the previous game that I played. Then we have The Walking Dead: A New Frontier, which I played the first and second season of The Walking Dead Telltale, but this one just didn't feel on the same level. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion or not. I don't know anything about the opinion of this game, but there were just not enough emotional moments that were like expected from the first two seasons. Those were like damaging emotional moments in that game, but this one maybe had one or two that I don't even recall. But yeah, it just didn't live up to the hype that I set myself for, unfortunately. Donut County, if you know about this game, it's a 2-hour platinum where you literally just sink everything into a hole, basically. Very easy platinum that I wanted to experience, so that's a fun and easy game to get the platinum for. Then we have Horizon Call of the Mountain, and this is a VR game. The funny thing about this game is that when I popped the first trophy, I didn't even have a PlayStation VR 2. Well, the thing is, this game got put on my account by PlayStation because of something we had to do in the office at work, which was a bonus. Sometimes this happens when you work at PlayStation. Those are the good things. So this trophy doesn't have a screenshot because it wasn't played on my PlayStation. And then that meant that without owning a PlayStation VR 2, I now had a completely unobtainable game on my trophy list with just one trophy on it, which pretty much forced me to get a PlayStation VR 2. And well, so I did. I got the platinum about a month later because I was sort of forced into it. Not really, because I wanted a VR 2 nonetheless, but went and got a VR 2, and now this is my first ever VR experience and PlayStation VR 2 platinum, which was really cool. The whole game is, well, short, but really fun. I mean, it was my first experience, so I can't really compare it to anything, but I really enjoyed my time with this. It's a very fun and often tiring game to do in VR. Moving along over to Moving Out 2. I did this solo, but it's definitely recommended to do it with more than one person. But it's a short game where you basically move boxes and stuff around, and a very chaotic game, I expect, if you were to play this with other people. We're nearly at 150 platinums, but before that we still have Cat Quest, which is another game I heard great things about, so I had to check it out. And well, I did and really enjoyed this. It's a very short game, only about 8 hours or so, but you move quickly through the game, so it kind of feels very fast-paced, but the overall thing is very fun, and I'll probably be checking out Cat Quest 2 at some point when I get to that. And then we have Tunic. Oh my god, do I love this game. It's quickly moved into my like top 10 games of all time because this game is phenomenal. It's basically one giant puzzle, and there's so many moments in this where you try and figure things out and you just get this aha, right, so that's how it works. Those type of moments are so good, and I can't spoil anything, but the last puzzle, if you have the physical edition, you have like the manual that you see in front of you, and it just enhances the whole experience. It's just so good. I really recommend this game. But then, if you've seen it, and you've seen my last 50, 75th, and 100th platinum trophies, the 150th platinum trophy is none other than Road Bustle. Yes, staying in line with the shovelware games that don't mean anything and are just stupid, I thought this fitted in the category perfectly. Yes, it only took me under 3 minutes to platinum. Yes, it only cost me $1, and yes, I think it's funny. Yes, I enjoyed it. Yes, I'm very happy that I did this. It's just funny to me. I don't care what anyone thinks. I like to do these things. It brings me joy, so to speak. So don't get mad at me. I have 146 other platinums that I think live up to the hype and are worthy platinums, especially when we look at the next 3 games that I'm trying to platinum, which, if you know anything about these, they are not easy. Starting off with Cyberpunk. I only recently started it. I'm very excited to play more of this. I waited all this time just to get the perfect PlayStation experience without major bugs or anything. It's definitely not bug free. I still am encountering some glitches, but I'm only in Act 2 and I'm very excited. The open world is incredible. Like, holy, does that blow me away. The only thing I'm scared about is some of these missable trophies, which I want to read the trophy guide for, but I can't because I don't want to spoil my experience and get the story spoiled for me, so I'm not sure how I'm going to be tackling that. But anyway, I'm enjoying my time with this a lot. I'm only like 10 hours in. And I have the Ultimate Edition, which means I'll be going for the DLC as well, which I have heard so much praise for this game. I'm just excited to play more of that. Then, as I said, I have a PlayStation VR 2 now, so I want to do some VR platinums in here as well. well. And then what better way to do that with Beat Saber, a hugely popular VR game that is incredibly fun to play. It's so addicting, and I think after I finish recording this, I'm going to hop in for another hour just because I'm that addicted. But wow, this is just, it's so pretty and fun and addicting to play that I am very scared for how difficult this is going to become with all of those S ranks on expert difficulty. But yeah, I'm very much enjoying my time with this VR game, and I'm quickly going to wrap it up with the final game so I can hop into another Beat Saber level by showing you the final game, which is The Finals. Great name for that. But wow, this game, I love my FPS games, and this game is so much fun. It's honestly up there in the best FPS games I've ever played. I've got about 200 hours in there, but this Platinum Trophy is so incredibly long that with even 200 hours into it, I'm only at about 48%. Because as you see, obtain a total of 50 million cash is an insane grind. Like an insane grind. You get about 40,000 cash in a good game, and with today's news, on the day that I'm recording this, I've seen that the game mode bank kit, which is the primary way to grind a lot of this cash, is getting removed. So I have no idea if it's going to take me another 200 hours or 300 or 400 hours, depending on how good I am at this game. But I love it. If you haven't played this game yet and you like FPS games, please give it a shot. This game deserves so much more popularity. I really hope people try and experience this game because it's so much fun. I'm grinding for this Platinum Trophy, which I hope to get within 200 hours, but yeah, it's one hell of a grind. But overall, that's 150 Platinum Trophies, including the next ones that I'm working on, level 454 now, with over 6,600 trophies in total. I'm happy with 150, and maybe as cringe as it sounds, and it sounds maybe a little bit weird, I know, but 150 Platinums is something I can be proud of. It's like I've completed and done everything in 150 games, which is something pretty cool. I know it doesn't mean anything, but you know, I enjoy this hobby. I love the community. I love the people that are watching this video or just listening along. I love you all so very much. Thank you for being a part of this. I absolutely love you all to bits. Who knows where we'll be in the future with 160, 170, 180, 190, even 200 platinums. Maybe I'll do another trophy video at that point to go over the entire collection. Tell me what your favorite platinum trophy is on this list. Let me know what I should be going for. Let me know which ones you have. And for now, that is it. And I will see you all in the next one. See ya.